Editor Weatherbridge. We are living in very dangerous times. La khona anything leshiwo kungemuntu. Ama consequences leyo muntu langawathola amatima kakhulu. We have a lot of online publications langase regulated. In balancing the press freedom, the malungelo ebantu, and not just right to privacy, also right to life. What is it that we can do to deal with, maybe not necessarily to deal with, but to strike a balance between these media publications that quickly publish news before verifying. Shouldn't there be a rumor about me? Uthi mhlambe ngibonakale maybe ngikhuluma nemaphoyisa ngabonakala nginiketa maybe amaphoyisa into lefana ne-USB drive, and then one media publication in the almost 20 that we now have, especially on Facebook, ibese publisher logo. How are the people protected from the media freedom that now Swazi-related publications enjoy? And how do we balance that and continuing to make sure that online media has the freedom and as a suppress? Thank you so much, Piwa. You're touching on a very important point. In Swaziland, ngayibeka njani le ntole ukuthi ihlonipheke. Ekhaya eSwatini, a traditional standard definition of the media, most of us siyaleka ngivalo umunye uthi our inviting media houses to run a Facebook page is not media. Yeah, that's what people must understand. Urani mina nje page lami nginganayo ka Facebook. Ngale ukuthi ngihle ngibita wena utakhuluma ngibitela lawyer, it does not mean ukuthi media. Media is a publication fully registered. And why is this important? Because there are ethical standards that are expected from journalists, and journalists must hold themselves, each other accountable and to those standards. Because the power of the pen is too big and too important to be given randomly to anyone without some ethical standards like ambambabo. But is this in the public interest or it interests the public? Because umjolo wakho phela would be the most entertaining thing to us to write about. But man not umjolo. Man not the standards. But and who is paying? Umbhala ngomjolo waphiwa or ukuthi ifamily yaphiwa bahle bangaphakelani inyama ethide nawuvakashile. Are you a public figure? It's in the public interest. So ngama standards again. I think usho nemntangeni ukuthi ngeke nje nasuke la ukuthi ngihambile ngayonatha nazibani wangangithengeli sokulikema lakhe ukuthi athini yombhala kusasa. The power of the pen is too important. Mathathi Facebook page ucabanga ukuthi media. Unye kwama page on Facebook. Akuna interest on the standards, on the truth, on all of that. He's not interested in that. They're just interested in shaping and pushing public certain discourse and narratives. And the theme discussion is to center around there's a battle going on in Swaziland. And it's a battle of the capturing of the Swazi imagination. Now, this battle is playing itself out in social media. Because in social media, everyone has a platform. Flat earthers today have a platform. They have a fellow page, but the earth is flat. And medical doctors struggling to tell people they must take vaccines because everyone has a platform. Anyone can say anything. Therefore, the battle is no longer about, it's not just about conforming to the particular standards. And I can give you those standards. For example, if we public or sell Facebook page, we media house proper registered and affiliated to professional organizations, there has to be a recourse. Can they go and apologize and lodge a complaint, withdraw and apologize? Apologize about people who run a Facebook page. There's no platform that you can do. It's his thing. He decides who to call. So it would be laughable for me to tell someone who's running a Facebook page into a media, not a media house. Many Facebook page, the biggest one here, Uniswa group. Do you want to call that media just because people from time to time post about certain things? But let me remember this one in Muyo, man. Let me is the media houses the Sekaya. Who are the team? Who's it as a matter of states archive? He has got 200 million followers, 200,000 followers. Who take a media in the country has that kind of influence? Though they must never lie to you. Look at the Times looking fence. It's read by the last statistics, and I'm reading them for you from ABC. What does ABC mean? But they calculate the circulations of media houses. In their last report, the Times was read by 18,000 people in a country of almost 1.2 million. And the numbers are not showing that they are increasing. So it's possible that we can think we can overinflate the influence of the local media and also overinflate our influence on online media. And why am I saying this? Because if I sit on Facebook and I post something online and you have 1 million comments, 40,000 likes and retweets, and the thing I've spoken to 40,000 Swazis, that's not a true reflection. And the statistics show this because the people online media are also bots accounts. Zomat, Labanya Beko, are not even Swazis, and all of that. But if you understand right now in Swaziland, there's a lot of these turf wars in the democratic movement and the sense of fighting. And this sense of fighting is not on the basis of issues, if at least as I understand them, is on the basis of who do I like.
Yeah.
Don't care about the issues. I mean, you will be forced to over-explain yourself to people who are not interested in hearing the truth or hearing what is the objective reality. And it goes back to this thing. We accept simaswati ukuthi sikhule ngaphansi kwembuso wenkundla losisebenzise wasishape in a particular way. In fact, if I were to be even more classical, all monarchs as semi-feudal institutions, they have a cultural backwardness everywhere, whether it's in Uganda, whether it's in Lesotho, whether it's in South Africa, whether it's anywhere. Because monarchy, because by its very nature, abusiyo invo le it's a period go whether ngathiwa ngithengisa umdwebo we-development of human history. Bengawuthi la sikhona because in Europe they were there 300, 400, 500 years ago. All the belief systems we think are dear to us as Swazis, as Africans, they are not. Those are reflective of the particular level of development of that society. A society that is underdeveloped will reflect that their code of ethics and morals and their interpretation of the world reflects their stage of development. If we died today and came back 1,000 years from today to Swaziland, they're not even worshipping the same God. They will worship something else. Number one. Number two, actually, bafati badoda kasathatha bafati so kuthatha abafati bathatha ngamadoda because it will reflect ukuthi le society seyimuvile. So all of these superstitious beliefs ukuthi emakhosi anjani we find it on all of these European countries that had kings. In fact, the Europeans are even monetizing it. Harry Potter is the story of kingship, is the story of the period when the kings were witches, were big thing, were the belief system yangalolanga be reflected ukuthi kunenkosi kunabafundisi laba very important in society. Science is not supported, in fact it's bastardized up until Europe went to a Renaissance period, and that is when we measure the scientific method and the scientific thinking, and all of the cultural backwardness that is associated with feudalism died down as the society developed and as capitalism also took shoot. Because as the economy ikhula, ukhona belief system lakatiwelako nje. For example, awudingi ukuthi legislate ukuthi babe polygamy. You don't need to all you do, you just make all policies that will lift the standard of women, provide economic, social, and political support to them. Polygamy will follow itself automatically as women are supported. I mean, sikhule Eswatini lapho khona besikholelwa ukuthi uma ngabe utelwe twins, for example, lalabanye nomnye ufuna bombula, they used to kill twins in our culture, but those practices they fall out as society advances. So Simaswati therefore a product of the years under this Nkundla, and this product reflects itself in one way: one, to be sexist and patriarchal. And the program organizations where are women leaders? How should women be in the future Swaziland? Because we are still reflecting a society under you. You see it in the way that we've elevated certain people to be demigods. Everyone else is wrong. This one must not be criticized. This is the holy. It is reflective because very under umbuso webukhosi the democratic process lapho khona kuyavudlwana usubuka nje bo Jacob Zuma nabo Deko butana ngabo Domkop wena sisifule sintanda. It's politics kuyashaywana wena Buffalo yabona uthi lokhala around crying like a crazy, Minister Ban criticizing and going around throwing his coins. It's politics, and we're going there. That's the future of Swaziland. That's the future of democracy. That's what will happen, and we must accept it, and we must accept that we are going there. And the media's role will have to be plural. And the Guardian in the UK is a product of the Labour Party, and many of these publications, the Mail and Guardian, this newspaper that was closed, Liama Gupta's New Age, it was an ANC publication in the apartheid years that eventually was taken up under different ownership subsequent to democracy. So, unlearning that we must be willing to do. And this unlearning must be first appreciation. We are all full of these impurities in all of us. Impurities is lack of democracy, is lack of accountability, is being sexist, it's in we are fishing from the same pool. Whether we party A, party B, democratic organization A, union, all of us is fishing from this pool. And this pool, creating fat. I bachonip, I banigiti kundla, I vanina bema gays and lesbians. Kukhona bangakriticize because bakumfundisa esontheni, umfundisa kabuta ukuthi imali nang isebenza kanjani. La sonto likude ema female church members. That system ikhula nathi vele understand how can you question my leader, because I've grown under a chief. You don't question a chief. I've grown under a king. You don't question a king. I've grown under a pastor. I don't question a pastor. That is ingrained in us. The process of change logo will require a media that is diverse, a media that is critical, a media that is willing to demigods, and a media that will allow for society to criticize it, because the media is not God. The media must be criticized. It's a process. The media will criticize the media, but also the media must be professional. It must not target people unfairly. It must not abuse the space. Let's occupy so that certain people are wrong and focus. It must not create untouchables, and also the media must not allow it to be bought by big business or big institutions that wants to control how it disseminates news. But the media, when it makes a mistake, it must apologize, and the media must be fair to those that it criticizes. A person must read anything, whether in TV and everywhere, and say, this is fair. It doesn't have to be neutral, but this is fair. Thank you so much. Thank you, Manoba. Nitangixolela abahleli bemaphephandaba abastaki. I hope ungisenaye noma at least 20 minutes. Wagcina. Ngangixolela ngendlela engitawubuta ngayo, but I'm doing this on purpose because I'm also putting you on the stand. So then we saw the news. Maybe just to give Maswati, your own explanation. I understand that. I understand your point of view when it comes to accounting to the public. Excuse me. But ngicela ukuthi maybe uwaqoqele Maswati ukuthi wena ngendlela lokwenteke ngayo kwenteke njani ukuthi udikhaze ngaleya weekend leya ukavarisha i-Congress eswayekho almost full but ungekho eThekwini kulomunye umsebenzi lokhona weswalimo futhi kwenteke njani ukuthi le Congress lebeyikhona yeswalimo yeswayekho kulomnyaka lophilile ungayikavarishi. I'm doing this deliberately, and I hope you will forgive me on this space. And then I'll come to Mangoba with another hot question. I hope now Dr. Lungselela Mangoba was now in Dr. Ngamboto Lokishe Logia Devil's advocate.
Yeah. We are what Buddha Stask. Each journalist now name Timbi. You engage the editor, which would say Ngalesinga King that being named 70 being coverage. So lo kwenteka ke lapho sasinva ngisakhile lobekalungisela lo msebenzi, maybe bekangilomunye lobekalungisela lo msebenzi watsinza ke mina wathi ucela coverage. In fact bekafuna one journalist kwatholakala ke ukuthi ke sesigcina ke siyasibathathu because kulelo viki bekude imisebenzi lenkanani lebesiyibona etafuleni lokuma invitations. Because we wanted to do something like a short documentary. So we have different roles. Le swalimo tsine wena Staski asibanusele bandvu nge-coverage. Kukhona lokuthi most people laba popular bayebende ngazothi na ufuna kuba coverage you must follow them. Kanti if the procedure is you write to us an email us invite. Now us invite we won't go there. Because in media lo ngafuna coverage ye media, you know the media operates. Sine sa ukavesha lo sibitile because what if usiya lapha kuwe usitshele ukuthi wasibiti. Uzivale iminyaka ukuthi niyaphila na into le private lena nifunani. So imedia ya invite uyinike i-accreditation kuhle kwendeka ke vele Stas kukhanza ukuthi kuphume ama statements maybe akhishwa boswalimo abasiniki thina uyabona ukhanza siphodemo ikhipha le statement yasinika sta reporter ngale phodemo until they realize ukuthi imedia uyayinika information. We cannot take information in social media ebe abaphathi baleyo political parties nato nombolo tabo banato bayathi funa basinike le statement formally. Ngeke sisibuthi social noma ngasibona nje mina ngisibona ku social media angisebenzisi vele because ngidabajwayeta ukuthi ba treatwa special. I don't do that. Kufuna ukuthi nabane statement basende ku editor bathi editor na statement lana sikhiphe na statement. Sasibona sibhama ku social media kumawole bantu singakanikwa thina, we don't report about that. But if I put them a statement and sent to the publication, this is the statement, we report. So go media, the worst mistake you can do is that uthi kanza uyijekalise ufollow uyishala abanye because beva ukuthi if ungakabhali ngabo utete indzaba. Ngiyakutshela utati kanza so kumfana wabo because utawubutsa into la. What if you report about that? Noma ke ubona le event yabo batendelele eThekwini abakakumeme. So uyayibona wena la social media so report. Mina nje le yaseThekwini ngathola ivideo ngithumelelwe ngumhlonishwa amagawugawu wathi ucela ngimfake la ivideo ngayifaka. Kuba kwendanga lokho. Bengeke ngize ngiyifake. Because what if bekatendela into yakhe nema members akhe. So we follow the procedure. Whether umbani, whether uyiphathi lencane noma lenkulu, yinye le procedure. You invite the media nangabona mcimbi. Kuthi naku noma ke nangomsebenzi naku ngidabeni naku, here is the footage kunje ndawukhulumisana na spokesperson nangile kumele ngikhulume naye interview kukhulunyiswane ku-arrange ukuthi live iba kanjani. That's how it works. And lowo stars sitawusebenta ngako singala noma sesikhululekile sawuqhubeka silandzele imigomo yemedia ukuthi nawakasi invite vele sibhale ngawo. Cha ngathi uyaphenduleka.